Hello guys, balik tayo sa math review. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about quadratic equation. Okay, so if your equation could not be solved by factoring, then you do quadratic equation. But first, let us have first a review about the factorization, simple factorization, simple factoring. This is about exam type. So this one, x squared plus x. So you have x. Okay, here, the common here is you have 2x. You can remove, isolate 1x, put it outside. Then you have x plus, when you remove this x, that becomes 1 and equal to 0. So there are two values of x. Okay, first is x is equal to 0, and the other one is x plus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, you have x. If you're going to add both sides by positive, magiging x is equal to -1. Ibig sabihin, you have, no, negative, I should say, you have plus 1, subtract this one by -1, and then subtract din in the opposite side -1. This one will cancel out. That's why you have this x is equal to -1. Okay, so here, it's obvious that the answer is D. None of this. Okay, so let us have another example. Okay, if you have x squared plus x and then plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, you cannot do factoring. Okay, let's try to do the factoring if you can find it. Okay, so you have here x, and then you also have here x, that becomes x squared. Okay, and then the factor of 1 is plus 1, and then also plus 1. But this one will give you, there should be 2 here. Okay, so that means this is not correct. Okay, so in this case, you don't have a solution using factorization. That's why you do it by quadratic equation. So here, it's obvious that from this equation, your A is equal to 1, your B is also equal to 1, and then your C is also equal to 1. And then we can use this formula. So you have x minus B, substitute 1, plus or minus, you have B squared. This is just 1, or 1 squared, I'll just write 1 squared is 1, minus 4AC, 1, and then 1. 2A, it's also 1. So x is actually -1 plus or minus, what is this? 1 minus 4 all over 2. Okay, so we can continue. We go it here. So you have x, okay, -1 plus or minus, this is -3. And then 2. We can also rewrite, actually -3, you're going to write this one as -1, -1 times +3. Okay, so -1 is, the square root of -1 is imaginary, I, and then you have here 3. So you're going to write x is -1 plus or minus this one, I, okay, all over 2. Okay, so this is the answer actually. Okay, so let us try another example. Okay, so let us try this one. We're going to solve for the value of A. So this is a bit complicated, but we can write this one in the form of a quadratic equation. So how can we do, let us say, you have here A, let's say x squared, and then you have A8. Okay. So it is just like A4 You have, okay. So here we know that x here is equal to a over 4. So you can assume that x is equal to a over 4. Okay, so this one we can write as a at 8 is equal to x squared minus 17. Okay, how about a4? Okay, okay, this one is equal to x plus 16. Okay, okay, let's clear it out. This is 17. Okay, now by this we can use the quadratic equation that the formula is equal to minus b is negative 17. Okay, plus or minus b squared minus 4, a is 1. Take note that here a is 1. Andito yung 1, ano? It's understood that there's 1. B is negative 17. And then C is equal to 16. Okay? Okay, so all over 2A, which is, okay, 1. If we're going to expand further, this becomes 17 plus or minus. 17 squared minus 4. And then using the calculator, you can have 15. Use your calculator. In the board exam, you're going to use a calculator. So this is 2. There are two values of x. First, x1. If you're going to use positive, 17 plus 15 over 2. This is 17 plus 15 is 32. Over 2 is 16. And then x2, as you have 17 minus 15 over 2. Then you have 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So if we're going back here, x1, okay, here. Then use this one. Okay, you have x1, which is 16. Okay, 16, and then you have a4. This one, okay, just substitute. This is for x1 that we, okay, this one, to substitute. Okay, so you just have a, just like square root of 16, okay? And that gives you, the square root of 16 is the square root 4, and then the square root of 4 is plus or minus 2, okay? Now, for x2, using this again, this formula, you have 1 is equal to a4. Automatically, a is equal to plus or minus 1. Okay, so these are the values. Okay, a1, and then this one is a2. So here, what is this one? That's the answer. Here. Okay, so please follow me and for expect for more tutorial series.